Hello children, today we will begin Act 3 Scene 1. This scene opens before Prospero's cell. Enter Ferdinand bearing a log. Ferdinand enters carrying a log. Ferdinand, there be some sports are painful and their labor delight in them sets off. Sports here means physical labor. He says some games or some physical labor are painful, but their discomfort makes them more fun. Some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. Now, kind of baseness. Baseness here means humble occupations. He says some kinds of lowly activities are done for noble reasons, and you can do poor things that lead to rich results. This my mean task would be as heavy to me as odious. Odious is hateful. But the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead and makes my labors pleasures. He says here, this hard work would be boring and nasty to me, but I am working for a mistress who makes me enjoy my labor, who makes me enjoy this work. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, bad tempered. And he is composed of harshness. He says, oh, she's 10 times nicer than her father, is mean, and he is the height of crabbiness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a sore injunction. I have thousands of logs to take away and pile up on strict orders from him. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work and says, such baseness had never like executor. Like executor means similar performer. He says, my sweet darling cries when she sees me work and tells me that such a wonderful man never performed such lowly tasks before. But these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labors. Most busy, least when I do it. These sweet thoughts relieve me, refresh me, especially when I am slaving away busily. Enter Miranda and Prospero at a distance unseen. Miranda enters, followed by Prospero at a distance unseen, means unobserved. Miranda, alas, now, pray you, work not so hard. She says, now, please, I beg you, don't work so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you are enjoined to pile. Enjoined means ordered. He says, she is saying here, I wish the lightning had burnt up all these logs that you have been ordered to stack. Pray, set it down and rest you. Please put that log down and rest a while. When this burns, it will weep for having wearied you. When this wood burns, it will weep for making you tired. My father is hard at busy. Pray now, rest yourself. She says, my father is studying hard, so he won't see you. So please rest for some time. He is safe for these 3 hours. We are safe from my father for at least 3 hours. Ferdinand, O most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do. He says, oh my dear mistress, I won't be able to finish this work until sunset at the earliest. Miranda, if you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. The while means at the same time. Give me that. Pray, give me that. I'll carry it to the pile. Miranda says, if you sit down, I'll carry your logs a while. Please give me that. I'll take it over to the pile. Ferdinand, no, precious creature, I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by. Dishonor here means menial work. Ferdinand says, no, my darling, I would rather strain all my muscles and break my back than let you do work like this while I lounge around nearby. Miranda, it would become me as well as it does you. She says, I would be as right for the job as you are, and I should do it with much more ease, for my goodwill is to it, and yours it is against. Goodwill, inclination. And I would do it more easily, since I have goodwill on my side, and you are against this. Prospero, aside. Aside means he talks to himself. Poor worm, you poor weak thing. Thou art infected. You are in love. This visitation shows it. I can see it clearly now. Miranda, you look wearily. She says, you look very tired. No, noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. See, Ferdinand says, no, noble mistress, I am as fresh as morning when you are near me, even at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers, what is your name? I beg you to tell me your name so that I can use it in my prayers. Miranda tells him her name. Miranda. Then she says, oh my father, I have broke your hest to say so. I have disobeyed you by telling him that. Ferdinand admired Miranda, indeed the top of admiration. Excellent Miranda, really you are worthy of great praise. Worth what's dearest to the world. You are indeed admired more than anything else in the world. Full many a lady I have eyed with best regard. Regard means attention. And many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. Diligent means attentive, and bondage is captivity. He says, I have looked at many ladies with pleasure and been seduced by the sweet notings they said to me. For several virtues have I liked several women. I have liked several women for their several good qualities. Never any with so full soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed and put it to the foil. He says, but there was something wrong with each one that blotted her excellent qualities and cancels them out. But you, oh you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best. But with you it's different. You are perfect, without a rival in the world, made up of the best qualities of every creature. Miranda, I do not know one of my sex, no woman's face remember, save from my glass mine own. She says, I have never known any woman or seen a woman's face except my own in the mirror. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. She says, and I have never met any men besides you and my father. How features are abroad, I am skillless of. Skillless means ignorant. She says, I have no idea what people look like in other places, but by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape beside yourselves to like of. She says, but I swear by my modesty, which I value above everything else, that I would never want any companion in the world but you. I can't even imagine one. But I prattle something too wildly. Prattle means to talk needlessly. And my father's percepts I therein do forget. Percepts instructions. She says, but listen to me, chattering like crazy. And my father always told me not to do this. Ferdinand, I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not so. He says, I am a prince by birth, Miranda. Maybe even a king now, though I wish I weren't. And would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. And normally I wouldn't put up with carrying these logs any more than I would let flies breed in my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service. But I'll tell you something from my soul. The minute I saw you, my heart rushed to serve you. There resides to make me slave to it, and for your sake am I this patient log man. Log man, a carrier of logs of wood, and be your slave. So here I am now a patient log man. Miranda asks Ferdinand, do you love me? Ferdinand, O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound and crown what I profess with kind event if I speak true. Crown means bless. He says, O heaven, O earth, witness what I am going to say and reward me if I tell the truth. If hollowly means falsely, invert what best is boded me to mischief. Boded means promised. If I am lying, if I am speaking falsely, then destroy all my prospects in my life. I, beyond all limit of what else in the world, do love, rise, honor you. He says, more than anything else in the world, I love you, value you, and honor you. Miranda, I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of. Look at me crying. What a fool I am to cry at what makes me happy. Prospero aside, Prospero again is talking to himself and he says, fair encounter of two most rare affections. What a pleasant meeting between two people truly in love. Heavens rain grace on that which breeds between them. Breeds means grows. May heaven bless the feelings growing between them. Wherefore weep you? Why are you crying? Ferdinand asks Miranda. Miranda, at mine own unworthiness that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. Miranda says, I am crying at how unworthy I am to give you what I want to give you, and to take what I am dying to have. But this is trifling. Trifling is idle talk. And all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. But it is a waste of time to say so. The more I try to hide what I am feeling, the bigger it gets. Hence bashful cunning, and prompt me, plain and holy innocence, I am your wife if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. She says, "Oh, stop being so bashful and tricky, Miranda. Just be straightforward and innocent. I'll be your wife if you will have me. Otherwise, I will die a virgin devoted to you. To be your fellow, you may deny me. You can refuse me to make me your spouse. But I will be your servant, whether you will or no. But I will be your servant, whether you want me to be your servant or not. Ferdinand, my mistress dearest, and I thus humble ever. You will be my wife dearest, and I will serve you forever. Miranda, my husband then? Will you be my husband then? Ferdinand, A, with a heart as willing as bondage ever of freedom. Yes, with a heart more eager to bear a husband's responsibilities than a slave ever wanted freedom. Here's my hand. Take my hand. Miranda, and mine. And here's my hand, with my heart in it. And now farewell till half an hour hence. I'll see you again in half an hour. Ferdinand, 1,000,000, a million goodbyes to you. Exeunt Ferdinand and Miranda severally. Miranda and Ferdinand exit in opposite directions. Prospero, so glad of this as they I cannot be, who are surprised withal, but my rejoicing at nothing can be more. He says, I can't be as happy as they are at this moment, but nothing could make me happier than this. I'll to my book. Now it's time to get back to my studying. For yet a supper time must I perform much business appertaining. Appertaining means relating to my plan. So he says, now it's time to get back to my studying since I have a lot of serious business to take care of before dinner. Exit. He exits. So in Act 3, Scene 1, children, we have seen that this scene opens with Ferdinand carrying wood willingly to prove his love for Miranda. And this is in contrast to the curses which accompanied Caliban's toil at the beginning of the preceding scene. The love between Ferdinand and Miranda is part of the play's larger pattern of atonement and reconciliation. The purity and innocence of their love atones for the suspicions, hostilities, and betrayals of the father's generation. Prospero is here seen in his godlike role, overseeing two of the creatures carrying out his design.